Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and this is a special edition of Rob's Rogues. This is going to be part of my Rob's Rant video, Rob's Rant number 2. And as my last rant video was about the collect and connect that Mattel tries to make us collect and then doesn't put out enough of them, as that was a negative rant, this is going to be a positive rant about the new 52. And this video replies, I put on some light here, this is basically a video response to Andrew Cutter. So Andrew, if you're watching, this is for you and everybody else that subscribes to Rob's Rogues here. He had asked what people thought about the new 52. I subscribe to his channel, and he generally does comic book reviews and then talks about video games and collects some action figures. But the main reason I watch his channel is because he's reviewing DC Comics. And while I'm talking about reviewers, another two people that I watch, or two channels, are Nugget Cymek Review DC Comics. I'm going to put all the links down below in the description. They have a very good channel. I highly recommend watching them. And at the very beginning of the new 52, they were reading every single issue, all 52 titles, from DC Comics through the first major story arcs, and then they trimmed down the ones that they didn't like to what they're currently reading, and now that show has turned into basically a monthly channel, or when they have time. Cymek is a writer-director, and Nug is an actor, and they both kind of work together, so as their schedule permits, they put up new episodes. So I recommend watching them. And then Alter Ego Comics, I mentioned them because that's where I started getting my new 52 comics from. In Lima, Ohio. I'll put their website down in the description and their channel. They are a comic book store, so their channel deals with all comics, DC, Image, Marvel, indie comics, and all that type of stuff. So on my channel, I really haven't done any comic reviews at all. I've kind of thought about it, toyed with the idea. I've made mention of the new 52, that I've been currently reading it. And since we're here at the year anniversary of the new 52, and on Andrew's channel, like I said, he had made mention to write a post what we thought about the new 52 or a video response. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this, is putting up a video response of my thoughts of the new 52. And before the new 52, I generally I would have called myself a collector before, but now that I'm in the new 52, I would really say I'm a comic book collector. Because I've never bought this many comics my whole entire life up until this point, and been to a comic book shop at a weekly basis, have a pull list. Before this, I just kind of stumbled into the comic book store whenever I thought about it. Grocery stores with their comic book racks, if I saw an issue that kind of intrigued me, or if there was a story starting, I may finish that story out. There wasn't a sense of urgency to have comics every week and to read. A lot of times I bought them in graphic novel form. That way I could get the whole entire story all in one shot and enjoy it. Have a nice hardback book. I've kind of got out of the graphic novels a little bit. The only reason I'm getting them now is to get older stuff that I couldn't get in single issues or that are hard to find. I kind of kicked about the new 52 at first. I thought, oh, this is going to be silly. I don't like change. What is DC Comics doing? This is going to be horrible. And then I started thinking about comics. And as I kind of bend down here, if nothing ever changed, then maybe this would be the only Batman that we would have to read. If things never changed, people didn't like change, then we might have been stuck in the campy universe of Batman. If that didn't change, we may have not gotten to, some Denny O'Neil stories or whoever. Or wind up in this universe if nothing ever changed. So that is where I really started warming up to the idea. And plus, it was going to be ground level, entry level stories that you could easily jump into this universe and start right at issue 1. If you had thought about getting into comics, or if you had been out of comics for a while, and I was in and out. I was just starting to kind of pick up comics again, right as Bruce Wayne came back from the dead, or back from time. So I was kind of on the Red Robin title, and I was on the Batman title, and the Batman and Robin as well. Because I like the idea of Dick Grayson being Batman and Damian being Robin. even though I would rather have had Tim Drake as Robin, I was really kind of liking the Red Robin title as well. So once a New 52 hit, then it was kind of like full speed ahead. I thought this might be an opportunity to try out some books and branch out a little bit other than reading just the 2 books that I was kind of currently reading. So, you know, it was a no-brainer for me at first that I thought, you know what, I want to pick up a good team comic, so I went with the Justice League. I thought, well, I have to be on the Batman title because that's what I generally read the most. If you would look at my comics, I have some detective comics, but it was generally the Batman title. Since there wasn't a Robin title, I liked the idea of Batman and Robin, and I always have kind of, now that we're in the New 52, I kind of think that the Batman and Robin title is really actually a Robin title, because it stems with what Bruce is dealing with his son Damian, or how he's dealing with his new Robin. So I would kind of argue it's more of a Robin book because it's things that Damian is doing and saying that's kind of having to have Bruce react in a certain way, or how Damian is having to fight crime and Bruce having to try and take that killer instinct out of him. You know, Nightwing, I thought, I want to read Nightwing and see, you know, what Dick is doing now that he's not Batman anymore. He's gone back to being Nightwing. Kyle Higgins is doing a great job, and I didn't make mention of Tomasi and Gleason on Batman and Robin. That is fantastic. Issue 1 started a little slow, but man, it picked up speed at issue 2 and has been going strong. And Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo on Batman and Robin, that's just great. And their next story arc seems like it's going to be fantastic. And it was kind of cool that the Batman and Robin title went 12 issues, or the Batman title, went 12 issues with one story. I thought that was great. You know, made mention that, you know, what Dick is doing in Gotham City again with Nightwing, and how that paired into the Batman title, and kind of unbeknownst to a lot of people that these 2 stories, the Nightwing and Batman title, were really connected. And of course all the Bat books, you know, jumped in on the Snyder run for a little bit. Batgirl kind of intrigued me, seeing that Barbara Gordon is back as Batgirl. To me, I liked Stephanie Brown as Batgirl, but in my mind, it's always been Barbara Gordon should be Batgirl. So I like that they brought her out of her wheelchair, and the issue 0 is going to be really kind of interesting to see her origin story as Batgirl, and then seeing what is in continuity with the Killing Joke and how she got out of the wheelchair. That's going to be a very fun issue to read. Red Hood and the Outlaws has been a different comic for me. Was really intrigued by Jason Todd. I liked the Starfire character, and I also liked Roy Harper, you know, Red Arrow, and now, you know, Arsenal. And I kind of, you know, put that in line with, since they're both written by Scott Lobdell, they consider the Red Hood and the Outlaws a Bat book. I kind of consider Teen Titans a Bat book too, basically for the same reason. You have one character that's been part of the Batman family, Red Hood, you know, being Jason Todd, and then Teen Titans having Tim Drake in there, being Red Robin. So, you know, I kind of consider that my, you know, as part of my Batman universe. And the main reason I'm on the Teen Titans is because of Tim Drake. There's been talk of possibly a Red Robin title coming, and if so, I'm definitely going to pick that book up, and I might drop Teen Titans, you know, I'm not quite sure, but I still do like both books. And then one of the last books that I'm on is Aquaman. Who would have thought that Aquaman is going to be one of the better books of a New 52? I mean, Aquaman has traditionally been the punching bag for the Justice League, but he has become a strong, viable character, and I gotta thank Mark at Alter Ego for suggesting that I hop on the Aquaman title. I was on the Green Lantern title for a little bit, which I'll kind of get into. He's like, you know, if you're on Justice League, that's written by Jeff Johns, and you're on Green Lantern, that's written by Jeff Johns. He's like, I think you're definitely gonna like Aquaman. He's like, I think he's gonna do some really cool things with it, and kind of said, you know, try issue 1, see what you like. You know, put them on your pull list. If you don't like it, you could take it off. And I'm up to issue 12, and this has been a great, great story. And Aquaman has been done legitimate and real, and has even kind of poked fun at himself. And, you know, Jeff Johns just kind of poked fun at Green Lantern a little bit But when that's done, it's written so well that this is one of those, if you're not on Aquaman, you're really missing out something. And one of the last 2 books that I'm on are Batman Incorporated. We're at issue 3 right now, as it was a second wave book. This is going to finish Grant Morrison's Batman story and his superhero story in general. Sounds like Grant Morrison's not going to be doing any more superhero stuff, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of note he leaves not only Batman on, but the superhero universe as well. And then a non-New 52 book that's not in the universe is the Batman Arkham Unhinged, which, for those of you that know, this is based on the Arkham City video game. So it takes place in, around, and during, before, and after the Arkham City. There are some one-shots, maybe 3-issue story arcs, different writers, different artists. Some will stay on for multiple issues, but I really like the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum video games, and this is a nice way to keep that universe alive. Digitally, they are at issue 40, and we're at issue 5 right now. This just came out, I think, a couple weeks ago, if I'm saying that correctly. So this is my way of getting my fill of the Arkham City universe. And I recently just picked up the issue 11 of The Flash. I wanted to pick this up initially, and I just didn't because I felt I was on too many books initially, but I think I may break down and hop on The Flash as well. I made mention that I was on some other books. The Green Lantern was one of those that I was on briefly for a little bit. As you can see, I picked up issue 12 and issue, annual number 1 here to hop on board for the Rise of the Third Army. I don't know what it was about I think I actually know what it was. I wasn't real fond of Sinestro being Green Lantern. I really wanted a Hal Jordan issue, and now kind of seeing where the Third Army is going, I can see why Jeff Johns did what he was doing there, but at the same time, it's like we just came out of the whole Blackest Night thing, and the previous continuity, previous universe, and that's still part of this continuity. It's like I'm getting tired of the let's kill off a superhero, let's do something to him, and we'll see. We'll see how the Rise of the Third Army is going to be. It's going to be interesting. I'm on issue 13, 14, 15, and 16 of all the Green Lantern books to complete the Rise of the Third Army. So we'll see how that goes. I was on Superman for a little bit, and to be honest, I just kind of found it boring, me personally. That's just myself. I liked Superman better in Justice League than I did it in his own comic. I really wasn't interested into the Action Comics by Grant Morrison. I always liked the Superman title better, and seeing Superman run around in blue jeans and a little cape and a little tiny Superman shirt really was doing nothing for me. I wanted this. Although I will say, some people complained about Superman's outfit. People, it's basically the same. He's just missing the red trunks. Now that we're 12 issues into stuff, I'm over Batman not having underwear or Superman having underwear. Yes, it's armor, and I know that Superman's suit's kind of made of light type deal, or it's white, whatever. I do like the Superman outfit. I just wasn't real fond of the Superman title, although Scott Lobdell is now on Superman, so I may pick it up because I do like the way Lobdell writes his comics. Detective Comics was one that, of the 3 Batman books that I had, this was the weakest one for me. It wasn't firing on the cylinders I thought Detective Comics should be. I mean, DC Comics, that's where they got their name from, is from Detective Comics. But again, at the end of the day, saving money, and the stories I was really wanting to read were in Batman and Robin, so I dropped Detective Comics after issue 5. After I dropped Green Lantern, I did pick up another book, and I picked up Green Arrow. Some people may be saying, wow, Rob, you made a poor choice. I kind of think I did make a poor choice. I think I wish I would have stayed on the Green Lantern comic. I've always really liked the Green Arrow character. I really wanted this book to be good. From issue to issue, I kept saying, it'll be better, it'll be better, it'll be better, and it just didn't get better. I would really hope somebody would pick up the Green Arrow title that can really write Green Arrow and write it well. I stayed on to issue 9, to finish up that story arc that was going on, and then hopped right back off of it. I did pick up Hawkman when it hit the Gentleman Ghost story arc, from listening to Nug and Cymek talk about it, where Nug was like, you know, he always had liked the Hawkman character, and he said this felt more like, you know, Hawkman. And here's a shot of the Gentleman Ghost. Once I saw this cover, I thought, oh, that looks really cool. And this was a nice job that Tony Daniels, in this case, wrote a really good story, and I really did like it immensely. Kind of thinking about picking up Hawkman again now that Rob Liefeld is off of it, and that's a whole other issue for a whole nother discussion. And then a couple other ones that I had tried were Earth 2, and I was kind of meh about Earth 2. I know a lot of people really like it. It wasn't doing it for me for whatever reason. And then I did pick up the issue 1 of Huntress of Power Girl, World's Finest. Something I thought about hopping back on again, but so those are the comics that I was on and the comics that I am currently on. So I went from the previous universe, basically from the time of high school up until probably pre-New 52, because I had started buying a few issues again. On the average, about 1 or 2 comics, maybe once every 5 to 6 months, if I was lucky. And now the New 52, even though I'm very Batman heavy, I'm buying 10 books every week. Well, not 10 books every week, but I'm buying 10 books in a whole month's time. Something I've never done before, and I'm enjoying reading each and every issue. I would like to read so many other issues, but, you know, it's money and, you know, doing action figures and reading comics, and, you know, I also play drums, so I have that expense. So I thought this was a really good way for me to hop in and get to read quite a few books. And of course, you know, during, you know, the Batman saga, we have jumped in from Batman, and, you know, I have All-Star Western, and I have Birds of Prey issues, and different books that the Batman books have touched on, and the Teen Titans, going into, you know, Superboy and the Ravengers. I forget what else the Teen Titans hopped across in. So with some of the crossovers of the books that I'm on, I have branched out into some other books. And I don't know, I'm really happy with the New 52. I wouldn't have thought that I would be buying comics as much as I am right now, especially with as much as I am. Initially, I thought, okay, I'll be reading, you know, these, you know, 10 books for a while, and then I'll probably generally graduate or, you know, drop down to, you know, 3 or 4 books. And I've managed to stay on with some of the main books that I started out with, you know, save 3 books, being, you know, Detective Comics, Green Lantern, and Green Arrow, and Superman, now that I'm looking at it, that I stayed on all the books all the way through issue 12. Now, I can't say enough good things about the New 52. Yes, are there, you know, story issues and character issues, you know, Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, there's a whole slew of people, Wally West, you know, that are not in this universe. Maybe they'll show up, maybe they won't. Who knows? Maybe they'll end up in an Earth 2. Maybe that's something that will cause me to hop on an Earth 2 comic. But who knows? But at the end of the day, as long as it's good stories, and I'm wanting to buy the comics every week, then if it's a 5-year universe, or a 10-year universe, or a 15-year universe, at the end of the day, for me, if Batman is still Bruce Wayne, and Superman, well, he may not be Clark Kent anymore, but Kal-El is still Superman, and even if they're not, even like in the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan is not Green Lantern, even though I prefer Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern, but as long as those stories are good, then I'm willing to spend the hard-earned money every week to go get the books that I really, really, really like. So, what are my thoughts on the New 52? I think, as you can tell here, I'm on board for the New 52. Like I said, I went from buying just a handful of comics, not even a handful, just a couple comics occasionally, to really being invested not only in the characters, but the writers and the artists that are writing these books. And the books that I'm continuing to buy are generally writers and artists that have stayed on the books from issue 1 all the way through issue 12, and I'm really enjoying that. And I think because of that, maybe some people, like Justice League is going to be one of the big changes. Jim Lee is leaving Justice League, and just looking at the cover for Justice League there with Superman and Wonder Woman and their kiss, I'm okay with that. It's something new, it's something different, it's giving something for people to talk about, and I think it's going to make for interesting issues. I think all of us know and hope that Superman ends up with Lois Lane, but for right now, I'm curious to see where this is going. And one of the big things going to come out is a death of the family from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo in the Batman title. I want to go on film right now and saying this, that my guess for the death of the family is going to be Alfred. I think we are going to lose Alfred Pennyworth at the hands of the Joker. I don't know how. I just kind of think what could be the tragic thing that the Joker is going to try and do to Batman to really get at Batman. He's killed a Robin, and Jason Todd has come back from the death. Does that mean the Joker is going to know who Batman is? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the Joker is going to play through all of the Bat books, including into Teen Titans as well, because it's going to affect Tim Drake, Jason Todd, Barbara Gordon. Definitely Barbara Gordon, definitely Jason Todd, as those are the two people that he has inflicted the most pain to. And then, of course, Dick Grayson, and then Damian. And I really think the death of the family, the one central thing that connects all of the Batman family members together, is the relationship not only with Batman but with Alfred, and the caregiving that Alfred has given for Robins, and I think in some degree to Barbara Gordon as well. That'll be sad if I guess that right, but I have this feeling, if you have seen the cover for issue 13, I think it is, for Batman, you will see the Joker sitting at a panel of video screens, and the Joker is sitting on one screen or two screens, but the one screen he is sitting on is Batman, and up above all the other screens are all of the Robins. I think Batgirl and Alfred is in there. So we'll see if I'm right. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that could be the death of the family issue they're talking about. And over here in Justice League, one of my favorite characters, Shazam, is going to be replacing the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan character, in the Justice League. Right now, this Shazam story is a backup issue, and it's going to be kind of cool to see Shazam fighting alongside Batman and Aquaman and the Flash and Wonder Woman, and of course Superman. So I'm kind of getting off on little tangents here. As you can tell, I am very happy that I took the chance, I took the dive into the New 52. I know some people don't like the New 52, but I think if you really give it an honest chance, there are some great stories that people are telling. Yes, there are some hit and misses here. I've even pointed out some stuff that I've dropped. But like I said, things change, and who knows? Maybe Scott Lobdell is going to do a great job at the Superman title, and I may be picking this up again. So this has been my Rob's Rant. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully those of you that are reading the New 52 are enjoying the New 52. And if you're not, next Wednesday, starts the 0 issues. And that's going to be another great jumping on point that's going to go into the next phase for the New 52. So I want to do a little shout out to Andrew. Thanks for suggesting doing this little video. Hope you dig it, and to everybody watching Rob Rogues, stay tuned, because coming up hopefully very soon is going to be Wave 3 of the Batman Arkham City figures, so stay tuned for that, plus some other things I have coming up on the channel. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off and saying we will see you guys next time.